1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon. It is Saturday, February 7th. I am Bruce Leonard, of course, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. It's still legal today, but as usual, we are moving very fast. It's one day before Super Bowl Sunday, which should be a national holiday at this point, I believe. And I'm not going to talk too much about the game itself because I don't really give a shit. I mean, usually I care, but I don't care anything about either one of these teams. But I do think that the story of Sam Darnold is a story that a lot of people should pay attention to, because it's a story of a man who conquered adversity, right? Sam Darnold was the third pick in the draft. I can't remember what year it was, but he was the third pick in the draft by the New York Jets, and he promptly did not play well. Was benched and subsequently cut a couple years later. Then he went down to Carolina, where he played, not very good. Played for half a season maybe, was benched again, and I think the job was given to Andy Dalton at that time, who was the backup. He used to play here in Cincinnati, but anyway, that's irrelevant. Benched again, then cut again. Then went to San Francisco, was a backup, didn't play at all, sat on the bench. And everybody said, this guy's washed out. You know, he's the third overall pick in the draft. He's a bust, what they call a bust. You know, where you use a high draft pick on a guy and he doesn't pan out. You know, they call it, if you don't not aware, in sports terms, they call that a bust. And they say, Sam Darnold's a bust. He's no good. What's up, Fire? Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, so he sits on the bench for the 49ers, where he learns under Coach Kyle Shanahan more. Obviously pay attention. Then Minnesota needed a quarterback because their quarterback got injured, so they signed Sam Darnold. Then he plays for them. Then he wins 14 games. All of a sudden, he's playing really good. He gets to the playoffs. When, you know, this is a guy who's never been to the playoffs. Gets to the playoffs, folds under the pressure, throws like 4 interceptions, has a terrible game. After winning 14 games and getting them to the playoffs, he throws 4 interceptions, has a terrible game. So they decide, I'm talking about the football game for a second, because I think it's an important story. Not because of the football, but because of the adversity that Sam Darnold has overcome to get to this point. So now you're on 3 teams. He's the third pick in the draft. He gets cut by his first team. He goes to the Carolina Panthers. He plays bad, gets benched, gets cut again. Goes to the 49ers, signed as a backup. Doesn't play at all, sits on the bench. Goes to Minnesota, wins 14 games, gets to the playoffs. Has the worst game of his career in the playoffs. So Minnesota decides not to re-sign him. They let him go. Is that they have a rookie, or they have a J.J. McCarthy, who they drafted. They decided they're going to go with him. He got injured his rookie year, which is why they needed Sam Darnold to play. So he's just on his second year, and they're like, we're going with McCarthy, so they let Sam Darnold go. Seahawks signed Sam Darnold. They promptly win 14 games again and make it to the Super Bowl. Now, he's one step away from the pinnacle of his profession, putting his name in the history book of the NFL as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. This is a guy, like I said, who's gone through years of adversity. He could have given up at any time. You see this story a lot, and most of those guys just disappear into the ether, or they spend the rest of their life sitting on the bench, drinking Gatorade and holding the clipboard. But this guy didn't do that. This guy kept going to work every day, putting his nose down and trying to play, trying to play, trying to play. And he resurrected his career from death. I think it's a story that most people should pay attention to because it's a redemption story about not giving up. You know, life throws things at you. Sometimes you fail. He failed numerous times, but what did he do? He kept getting back up. Okay. Thank you for the intellectual input. Anyway, it shows that he's a strong-willed individual, that he's willing to. You don't even know me. This guy says he hates me. He's been watching me for 10 seconds. That's fine. Join the fucking club. It's like anyway, see, you're probably not a person like I'm talking about, who, like I said, face adversity, doesn't fold, keeps going, keeps moving forward, keeps trying, keeps improving. Until now, like I said, he's one game away from putting himself in the history books and validating that he was the third pick of the draft. He could have given up. He could have quit. He could have retired. He could, like I said, he could have just been content to cash a check and sit on the bench. But he didn't do that, did he? In just a few hours, Lindsey Vonn is about to do her run on the ski slope with a torn ACL. Now, if you don't know, Lindsey Vonn is 40. I don't know, she's over 40 years old. She retired once, came back. She said she wanted to do the Olympics one more time. What do you mean, Ken? I just wanted to, like I said, I think these stories are important because they're human stories about, like I said, facing adversity and not giving up, not folding. It's easy when things are coming at you and your life seems like it's in the shitter. It's going bad. It's easy to quit. It's easy to fold up. It's easy to say, well, you know, this has happened to me several times in my life where everything is taken away from you. And you got to get up. You got to brush yourself off. You got to keep going. You got to figure out how to reinvent yourself. You got to figure out how to make it work. And you don't give up. I could have given up years ago, and I wouldn't have never achieved any of the things that I achieved. I would have never seen all the things I got to see. I would never get to meet the famous people. And like some of my idols that I've got to meet, hang out with, get to know. These things would have never happened. I would have never performed 1,000 stand-up shows all over this country, you know, for thousands of people. Because you can't just give up. Life can break you. And it breaks some people. Like I said, a lot of people in Sam Darnold's position would have given up and been content to just, like I said, cash a check for as long as he could, holding a clipboard, sitting on a bench. But he didn't want to do that. Yeah, exactly. They don't realize they're just helping me. And that's fine. Like I said, and I don't care. I've said this 1,000 times. Like with LK. LK came here as a troll, and I think that by the end of the last episode, we kind of got through that, didn't we? And he was actually contributing to the show and having an actual conversation. Because, again, yeah, I don't care if the guy says he hates me. Why do I give a shit? I don't even know this fucking guy. You can't have a show like this and think that everyone's going to turn it on and love it. You know, of course not. It's not divisive on purpose, but we live in a divided culture. So just by the very title of the show, people are going to assume that they hate my guts. They might just tune in for, you know, genuine curiosity, or they're haters that like to hate. You know, and that's fine with me. But to me, like I said before, I think that the title of the show is a little bit misleading because I'm really not Che Guevara leftist, you know. I'm not a member of the Communist Party or whatever people want to think. Like, I actually have diverse views. I said, I'm a leftist who has guns. You know what I mean? Like I'm not quinoa eating, latte sipping, IPA drinking, leftist with a pussy hat or whatever that people think leftists are. I'm a humanist, really. My purpose is to try to make humanity better in any small way that I can. And if that's changing one person's mind about something, or making one person look in the mirror and realize maybe they're just a fucking asshole, because we were talking about the Super Bowl, like everyone's talking about this Bad Bunny. First of all, the fact that all these people who claim to be such patriots don't even realize that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory and that Bad Bunny is an American citizen tells you how fake it is to begin with. Their patriotism is fake. It's just like Christians who hide behind their religion, while they do evil shit. Like the fake patriotism is the same thing. They say, well, I love this country as long as you do what I say, which means you don't love America because America's about freedom. We're supposed to be. We've gotten away from that. America is like two different countries now. It really is. There's two different populations living inside the United States. One is, like I said, Christo-fascists, nationalists, who believe racists, who believe that we should cleanse this country of anybody who's not white, Christian. They don't like Muslims. They don't like immigrants. They don't like brown people. They believe that they are superior to everyone else and that this is their country, and that's what they believe. And then there's the rest of us who believe that America is about freedom, which is supposed to be. I'm really surprised that Trump hasn't ordered them to take that plaque off the Statue of Liberty that says "Give us your tired and your poor and your hungry," whatever. Like, that's an immigrant call. And the people that don't realize that even you, if you are one of these people, right? If you're a white person who was born in America, you do realize that your ancestors were immigrants too. And they say, "Oh, it's Bad Bunny. He's it's un-American. The guy's an American. Why he speaks Spanish? Who gives a shit?" Here's something you don't understand, is that the NFL is trying to go worldwide. They've been trying for years. That's why they have these games in Europe now and games in Brazil and shit. They're trying to make it a worldwide product. How do you make it a worldwide product? Right? You book acts that appeal to the world. Ain't nobody outside of this country or outside of Alabama, perhaps, tuning into the Turning Point USA Kid Rock alternative halftime show. It's not happening. Bad Bunny has like 100 million listeners a month on Spotify. All over the world. Kid Rock gets about 5. That's like... I'm sure his numbers are up now because all the mega nutlickers are probably playing his streaming stuff over and over and over to try to drive up the number to make it seem like he's more popular. So, because that's all mega is a con job. It's fake. Everything about it is fake. It claims to be a populist movement. It's not. It's not. It's a movement for billionaires and rich people to institute fascism into this country. That's what it is. It's a power grab by the rich elite. what they used to call, what they call it, the deep state. You know, like this. And now we're on, I think, day 6, right? No clues whatsoever in the Savannah Guthrie case. You know why? Nobody wants to talk about it. There's a reason why they haven't cracked this case. Because do you remember when Donald Trump took office? Do you remember? Do you remember what he did? First thing he did, right, was purge the FBI of anybody who worked on a January 6th case, of anybody who was associated with Jack Smith, with anybody that he found to be disloyal, to anybody who might have said something bad about Donald Trump at some point. He purged all those people out, all experienced agents. The FBI replaced them with what? Drooling nutlickers. And puts dumbass podcaster Kash Patel in charge of the FBI. And now, last night, I swear to God, it's been 5 days since this woman was kidnapped. And they were walking around still outside of her house with flashlights. Because they have no fucking idea what they're doing. And people will say, oh, well, they cracked that Charlie Kirk case pretty fast. Yeah, you know why? Because they got lucky as fuck. Because his father turned him in. They didn't crack that case. The father turned him in. Of course, Kash Patel ran to the television to pretend like he cracked the case, and drooling nutlickers will believe it and say, oh, look at Kash Patel cracked the case. It's like, no, he did not crack the case. The father turned the kid in. That's what happened. Now you see there's a real case. What's happened? Nothing. That's it. They're still walking around outside her house with fucking flashlights. I also believe that it's a beacon to the criminals. The criminals know these people are idiots. We can get away with shit like this if we're smart. They always say, oh, you think you're smarter than the police. Well, in this case, maybe they are. Because the government now is ran with drooling, moronic, nut-licking idiots. And the Trump administration has also blasted away the myth that all these people, lawyers and are doctors, that they're all super genius smart. Like, no. Plenty of dumb fuck lawyers. You see them. They work for the Trump administration. People like Jeanine Pirro. Like, she has a law degree, yes, but she doesn't know what she's doing. She's a fucking drunk. She's failed to indict numerous people that she's brought up indictments have been flatly rejected. Or cases that have been thrown out of court immediately because they don't know what they're doing. Now, do they have a law degree? Yes. What's that prove to you? That anybody can sit long enough in a classroom, take a test. You know, I'd like to see how many times she took the bar exam before she passed it. I'm sure it wasn't the first time. This woman was district attorney of New York and couldn't even convict Robert Durst. You know Robert Durst, you know, the guy who dressed like a woman and killed a bunch of people. She couldn't even convict him. She's a terrible attorney. That's like I said the other day. It's the same thing. Why Donald Trump doesn't fire anybody anymore? Because he ain't got no one left. He's gonna fire these people. These are his drooling, nut-licking loyalists who will do anything he fucking says. It's a cult. And he's out of cultists. If he fires somebody, he might have to hire somebody that may or may not be 100% loyal to Donald Trump, and he can't have that. So he's just gonna have these people fucking up for 3 more years. Apparently the Secretary of State doesn't even exist anymore. What's Marco Rubio doing? He's the Secretary of State. He's not in on these Iran talks. He's not in on the fucking Ukraine talks. What is he doing? I don't know. Who is talking to Iran? Or Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. They don't even have posts. Steve Witkoff is a special envoy. They call him special envoy. Just a guy that Trump said go over there and talk to these people. He's not been confirmed by the Senate for any post. Jared Kushner, same thing, it's just his son-in-law. They're both real estate guys. That's who you want running your foreign policy, right? Real estate guys. Neither one of them have probably been in the military or been involved in diplomacy. Well, I mean, he makes deals. Yes, Ken, I believe that to be the case too. At this point, it's been 6 days, and they said she had to have her medication the first day, or she would die. That's why I was saying I think it's a Fargo type situation where they didn't think this. I mean, the people that did it are obviously smart. They're smart enough to not leave any evidence, and they're smart enough to communicate without being traced, because they haven't been able to trace, where they come from. They figured out a way to send messages to this TV station anonymously, and they have a blockchain Bitcoin account that you could dump money into that would promptly disappear. So they're smart like that, but they didn't think it all the way through, because like I said, they grabbed a woman, she doesn't have her medication, and she probably died on them, and now they don't know what to do. So they're still trying to get the money by saying, put the money into Bitcoin, or something's gonna happen. Like something already happened, probably. And just like I said, just like Fargo, where they wound up killing the woman, and now they don't have a ransom piece. Like, how you gonna ransom somebody when you killed the person you're using as bait? But my point is, these are the things that people don't realize. It's like everyone's caught up in this reality show government, but the truth is, you personally and this country as a whole are less safe today than you were last year, because these morons are in charge. Not only are they morons, but they lie about everything. Which is even worse than just being stupid. Like, they're stupid and evil, which is, like I said, what was I going to tell you about? Apparently they went to court and represented, or they used the plot of a Law and Order episode. Yes, exactly, John. This ain't a reality show. Real people are dying. Exactly. But everybody's so conditioned by reality television that they're watching these people die on television, but it seems like a TV show to them. It doesn't feel real. They've disconnected us emotionally from reality and humanity. Collectively, as a nation, we've lost our soul. And I'm not really sure it's ever going to come back. That's why I said I'm still an advocate of peaceful secession. We should just split this country in two. People can decide which country they want to live in. Dumb fuck Jesus Stan, or whatever they want to call it, where all the white people run everything and there's no, and rich people get all the tax breaks and people get nothing. Or live on the blue side, where we will have like universal health care. We'll be more like Canada, where people actually get something back from the taxes that they pay to the government. This is the part of it all that I don't get, is conservatives used to claim to be anyway, the holders of the flames of freedom and small government and the constitutional rights and all that shit. All that shit is out the window. It's all out the window now. Now it's like whatever the dear leader says, and dear leader should have all power. Rich people should get all tax breaks, and but I don't need health care. Fuck it, you know. Trump is another thing. Trump put out this Trump RX, or was it TrumpRx.com, I believe it's called, where he's going to sell drugs now. It's going to be lower prices or whatever. But then the thing comes out, it's like, oh, it's all name brand drugs, no generic drugs, which means it'll be more expensive than generic drugs. And two, mostly drugs that are already covered by insurance. So what is it? It's a fucking scam like everything else he does. It's a way for him to put his name on something and glorify his ego and fucking siphon off a little money off the top. Because he's the most corrupt piece of shit we've ever had in this country. That's what kills me. These people are yelling, I want to run and find the fraud. There's another fraud today. Hundreds of millions of dollars in Georgia. So since they've been going on about this fraud in Minnesota, and now they're out in California digging around trying to find fraud, actual fraud has occurred. Billions of dollars in Texas. Right? Remember I told you about that? Mississippi. Now Georgia. But they don't talk about that, do they? You know why? Because it's bullshit. Everything they do is partisan bullshit. And like I was saying at the end of the last episode, when the guy was asking me what we could do to better our lives, you know, and this is the problem. We spending all of our time in this country talking about things that really don't matter. Culture war bullshit. You know, there's all this fraud over there, and the fraud, and there's immigrants this and immigrants that, and blaming everything on immigrants, and trans people playing sports, and you know, things that aren't real most of the time. They're just cooked up bullshit and we're being invaded by Muslims, Islamic extremists who are going to put Sharia law, you know, and you're like, none of this stuff is going to happen. It's all a fevered fantasy that people use to divide you into a group. And they want their group to control the country and control all the other groups and put their boot on them and get rid of some of them. Right now they're building detention facilities all over this country. Remember when Alex Jones said Obama was going to build detention facilities and start locking people up in them and, you know, all these things? Like, now they're doing that. Did Obama ever do that? No. Did Obama ever have any plans to do that? No. No. It's all bullshit, but people keep buying into it over and over and over and over and over. And like I said, when the Pizzagate thing went down, and that guy went to the pizza parlor, and there was no basement. It didn't even exist. They didn't even have a basement. You would think that some of these people would go, hey man, maybe they're lying to me. But no, they just moved right on to the next bullshit thing. Because they're gullible and they don't think, they just go with their emotions. And these people have developed a brainwash machine that stokes those emotions. And that's the bottom line. Just turn on Fox at any time of the day. And Fox is mild compared to OAN, which is actually a Nazi fucking Jack Babasibik or whatever, an actual Nazi, helped start OAN, you know. It's like Turning Point USA, but it's a propaganda network, basically. And that's the only purpose of it. Newsmax, same thing. It's propaganda. It is designed to brainwash you. And then, like I said, the Benny Johnsons and the Tim Pools, which Russian, funded by Russians. That's a fact. I've told you this a bunch of times, but I ain't making it up. It's not like, oh, I sit here. See, this is the difference between me and people like Tim Pool and Benny Johnson, who will sit there and lie to you all fucking day, is I don't lie. See, I believe that my ideas are better than their ideas, and there ain't no need to fucking lie. I always say that to conservatives, and none of them ever answer the fucking question of, if you believe that your ideas are so great, then why do you have to lie constantly? Constantly. These people never stop lying, ever. It's just like yesterday, right? Trump, I don't know if you've seen, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Trump posts a video that depicts Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. Right? People start tripping. You go, look at this. This is completely racist, which it is. Video stays up for 12 hours. They don't delete it. As a matter of fact, Caroline Levitt tries to gaslight everybody into, oh, it's just a parody of The Lion King, and why don't you talk about something people care about? What, that the President of the United States is a fucking Klan hood wearing racist? Yeah, I mean, people do care about that. The fact that so many people refuse to see it doesn't make it any less true. Trump is like a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Anybody that would post, anyone would get fired from any job, right? If you posted a racist Nazi shit like that, right? Fired. If you were a head of a university, if you were a general manager of a football team, if you were CEO of Procter and Gamble, you would be forced out, and rightly so. But the President of the United States, perfectly fine. Then, after Tim Scott, I don't know if you know Tim Scott. Tim Scott is basically Uncle Ruckus. I don't know if you know Uncle Ruckus, but look it up if you don't know who Uncle Ruckus is. But Tim Scott is the only black Republican in the Senate, and he's Uncle Ruckus. And he was like, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen. Now will that stop him from licking Trump's nuts? No. Why? Because he's the Uncle Ruckus. That's like... But when Uncle Ruckus gets upset and speaks up, you know something's up. So Trump was like, I guess I gotta delete this. So they delete the post. Then he says, oh, it wasn't me that posted it. It was a staffer. Trump is literally like a child, right? Where you made a cake and you set it on the counter. And you said, don't eat this cake. I'm going to the bathroom. And you went to the bathroom. And you came back and the cake was half eaten. And the kid has frosting all over his face. And he's like, I didn't eat the cake. That's Donald Trump. A big, giant, racist fucking man baby who lies constantly about every single thing that comes out of his fucking mouth. And people just let him get away with it. They said, oh, it's the staffer that did it. Oh, was the staffer fired? Oh, he refused to say anything about it. You know why? Because the staffer don't exist. It was Trump. Then he says, oh, well, I didn't watch the whole video. You know how long the video is? 1 minute, 2 seconds. Now, either he's lying, right? Then he knew what was on that video, and he posted it anyway. Or two, it's not, unless you're selling children. Then, just went from a good party to a fucking crime scene, bro. It's like, anyway. Or he's so impulsive that he just reposts something Within 10 seconds. Wow, Mr. Young Thug, you put a lot there into one. That's a lot of wacky in one post. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Epstein is a Satanist, and the elites know the paranormal is real. I don't know where the paranormal comes in here, but no. All right, here. Let me ask you this, Mr. Young Thug, and please, if you can answer the question, I would like that. How do you square there being paranormal and Jesus and God? Yes, Projan, I'm talking about that. And Trump's, like I said, squirmy way of trying to get out of it. Like, I'd respect y'all more, like I said. Like you just came right out to me, and like, you're basically saying, like, I'm an asshole, and I don't care if you think that. To me, I at least respect that. Donald Trump squirms around and tries to pretend and gaslight and pretend like he's not all these things that he is, and his cult followers do the same thing. And to me, that's worse. Not only are you fucking asshole, fucking Nazi, racist fucks, but you're too fucking spineless to even own it. Trying to hide behind, oh, I didn't know what was on there, or it was the staffer that did it, or whatever other excuses they could come up with to justify the unjustifiable, which is what they do all the fucking time. Like when Trump said there was very fine people on both sides of the Nazi rally. And then everybody spent 6 months trying to wheel that back and pretend like that's not what he said, but that's what he fucking said. When you get deported from Puerto Rico, it's a U.S. territory. Come on, guy. Come up with better fucking stories. No, Grandma Gertrude. Moloch worship. You didn't really answer the question. You can't really believe in God and the paranormal at the same time. They don't jive. If you're going to heaven, then why is there ghosts, bro? Please explain. It's like, I would like to know. Yes, Progens is, or at least he's a, he's a cultist. No, I know, Mac. You're all right. I'm not talking to you about I'm talking to Young Thug. He said Jesus is the way and then the paranormal is real. It's like, and I'm saying to you is those things don't jive together. If there's a God, there wouldn't be no paranormal, now would there? Because it's not part of the godly order. Yes, it is my real voice. I do stand up and people say that all the time. After I get off a stage and I go down into the crowd and start talking to people, sometimes people will say, oh man, you really talk like that. I thought that was an act for the... I'm like, why would you make up this voice? What's weird is I could make up regular voices. Like I can talk like a, like a real radio guy if I want to. My normal voices are fake, made up. my real voice sounds like this. See, now Progens is just going off the rails. They're just throwing shit out there. Yeah, right, John? Right? I think you'd be surprised to hear that the music that we were making, or we've been making, I've been making with these new guys, because I said I'm not yelling and screaming. I'm actually the closest thing to actually singing I've done, I think. And it's still not quite like, it's not like Freddie Mercury singing, but It's definitely more singing than yelling and screaming. It's like, really? Is he an asshole? Gassinelli? Thank you for tuning in, by the way. All you guys who are new, thank you for tuning in. Even Projans, if all you're going to do is troll and say dumb shit, I don't care. Like, you can say whatever you want. It's fine. Clinton did 9/11. Like, he wasn't even the president. Yes, I never heard it like quite described that way, and it's actually cool. Your voice is a combination of Joe Pesci and Quagmire. That's actually good. What does that mean? No, I'm a person who's read a lot of books. Yeah, right, okay. Mickey! Get him, Rock! Catch that chicken! It's like that. We're not done with it yet, John, of course. We've been on hiatus because of the holidays and then all this weather. But the guys were texting the other day, we're going to get back. Yeah, it's like, catch that chicken, Rock! It's like... That's one of the most hilarious things ever. When he's like, how are you going to train for this fight? You got to catch that chicken. It's not a person who... Oh, yeah, right, Projans. And your internet doesn't do that to you at all. Your YouTube algorithm or whatever you use to fucking get information. That's like... The internet is a sewage-filled factory of propaganda and lies. It's like... What does that mean, Projans? See, this is another part of the gaslight. What Projans, he actually says, my grandma's a part of a book club and the government has taken her mind. Okay, is she a Trumper? Because nobody is more pro let the government walk all over you than Trumpers now. That's their whole philosophy. That the government should have all power and all your civil rights and your... They don't matter anymore. Lord Donald Trump, supreme master of the universe. It's like that's their philosophy. And then they say, oh, all you leftists are, you worship the government, you want the government to, no, like the roles are reversed now. What do you mean she believes in vasectomies? Well, so do I if you don't want to have a kid. What do you care if someone gets a vasectomy or not? Ain't none of your fucking business. What does that mean? Taking away a man's manhood. No, it just means you don't want to get no one pregnant. It doesn't take away your manhood. Where do you get these wacky ideas? See, this is like... Exactly, Mr. Young Thug. He's part of the cult. Yes, he did say that. What propaganda, bro? If people decide they don't want to have any more children, they get a vasectomy. Or the woman gets her tubes tied, or whatever. Like, that doesn't make you less of a man because you got a vasectomy. Now, if you get your balls cut off, you become a eunuch. Now you might want to... Now you might have a little more valid point. But just getting your fucking... I don't even know what they call them. The tubes that your fucking sperm come out of. Tied up. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, I don't understand. And I also don't understand people who come on here and just say shit. Like, I mean, I guess you're trying to fuck with me or whatever. The Semen Prevention Agency, aka the CLA. Now that's kind of clever, at least. What I'm saying is, to get a vasectomy doesn't make you less of a man. Exactly, Nemra. She said, or they say the only people who are against vasectomy don't have children of their own. Exactly. Sasame says, hi, brother. I'm writing through a translator. My name is Anton, and I'm from Russia. Ooh, finally, some Russians. I want to wish you happiness and kindness. Quick, turn it off before Putin finds out you're listening to me. You'll get on a list for sure. It's like, see, who wants to control the population? Produce says they don't want us making babies because they want to control the population. Who? Who are you talking about? Who is the shadowy they all the time? You know, it's like, what does that mean? That you? I believe that you. He says you probably believe in child support. What? That taking care of your children? You know what makes you less of a man? Not taking care of your fucking kids. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it, because that's true. If you don't take care of your kids, you're a piece of shit. You are not a man. You can talk all that alpha male bullshit you want. You know, if you get a woman pregnant, you have a kid, you should pay child support, take care of your fucking kid. And if you think that you shouldn't, then you're a fucking jerk off, and you're a prime candidate for a vasectomy. That's like the very thing you despise. It's the very thing you need. It's part of the problem. All these people fucking with no responsibility. Now, see, Nemra, you didn't have to say that. There's plenty of fucking people who aren't white to take care of their fucking kids. See, that's the problem. Like, why do y'all gotta be racist? What's the point of that? I'm really curious, Nemra. Why do you think that you're better than other people? Because you're white. You're like by birthright somehow you're better than others. I'd like to know. Like, please explain that to me. You wouldn't say something like that if you didn't think that. Or you wouldn't post pictures of the Obamas as apes. You know, this is all mega. It's all white supremacy. Okay, you're just joking. Thank you. See, I don't know that. I don't know you. Forgive me for assuming, but you know, a lot of people that come on here, that's what they are. And I don't understand that. The other thing they do is to gaslight you is when you try to talk about that stuff, they say that if you question the system that's been created right over the years, look, hey, we got the 100 message cup, thank you, and then we're still 12 minutes from the end. It's like, it probably disconnects me from the chat. It'll come back. But anyway, I don't understand it. And then they gaslight you and they say, well, you must be ashamed to be white, you know, and you're like, no, not ashamed to be white. It's like, that's not the case at all. Only betas. See, this is alphas and betas. That's the problem with all you fucking jerk offs. People that say alpha male, you're not alpha males, bro. Alpha males don't talk about how alpha they are. What you are is an insecure little bitch who feels the need to pretend that you're masculine because you don't really feel that way inside. This is how am I supposed to create an army of base soldiers to take on the elites if I have my resources siphoned by child support? Well, how are you going to make these children into soldiers without taking care of them? LK, if you know about anything about this country, a lot of them are in prison. Or been shot by the police. I mean, there's just as many deadbeat white dads as there's deadbeat other people's dads. we'll give you that. The Asian fighting fish is like the closest thing to aquatic UFC you could get. It's like put the two betas into the glass jar and watch them fight. It's like a glass water cage where they have fish UFC. It's like except they fight to the death. It's like you ever thought about that? It's a very unusual fucking look, but we already went through this before, bro. The numbers you use are bullshit. They're not real numbers. You tried that with the sexual offenders in England thing, and I proved to you that you're wrong. You're wrong. Just many white sex offenders in England, and in fact more than immigrants, but they keep telling you this bullshit lie because they need you to hate the immigrants. That's how they take control of your mind. Don't you understand that? And how they get you to give away your freedom voluntarily by pretending to you that these immigrants are a threat to you somehow. And again, I got something to say to you. Again, like if immigrants are a threat to you, you think that immigrants are going to keep you from being successful, then you're a fucking loser who's not going to be successful anyway. You can take away all the fucking immigrants. You're just a dumbass who's probably not going to be successful because you're a dumbass, you know. And I'm not saying you personally, because I said I feel like we had a breakthrough last episode, and you're not just a troll here anymore. And which I'm glad. I'm proud of you, seriously. And I'm glad you came back. I mean, obviously you don't hate my guts, or you wouldn't keep tuning into the show. So, see, Projans is just like way out there in left field, you know. That's not true, bro. We already went through this. I don't want to read the statistics to you again. The numbers don't see. It's just like the dollar and everything else we was talking about, the stock markets, whatever. They don't give a fuck about your point of view. They don't give a fuck about you being a Republican or a Democrat or a Labor or whatever the fuck you are over there. What do they call the others? There's Labor, and what's the other one? The people that want Farage to be the I don't know the name of them. I should. I mean, I guess they're just conservatives, but those conservatives are just like the conservatives here. They gotta lie to you. See, that's a cop-out, bro. There's also way less of them. It's a smaller pie, which makes the percentages higher. And that's just the truth. The truth is, if you get to know people, regular people, like us, right? You came here, you started here, you were trolling, and we were arguing, we're going back and forth, and now we've actually, right, Reform UK, who were the fucking Brexit people, which, how fucking did that work out for you? You know what I mean? Like, it's... Conservatism is a never-ending fucking train of bad fucking ideas, shitty policy, and economy tanking fucking incompetence all across the world, apparently. It's like... I don't believe that you know anything about any of these places, Projans. I think you're just talking shit. To tell you the truth. I moved to Russia for some real freedom. Yeah, right, where Putin can throw you out of the fucking window anytime he wants. It's like... where if you say something that they don't like, they just drag you off to a gulag somewhere, or maybe just shoot you somewhere out in the woods. Look at him, you probably support trainees. No, you know what I do support? Individual freedom. And if you supported individual freedom, like you just said 3 comments above the fucking stupid thing you just said, you said, I moved to Russia for some real freedom. And then at the 3 comments later, he says, you probably support trannies. It's like, I support people's freedom to be a tranny, yes. I do. Does that mean I support trannies or I advocate for it or I want to be one? No. But I believe people should have the freedom to be whatever the fuck they want to be. Because that's real freedom. You see, you contradict yourselves all the fucking time. There's no logic to conservatism. You know, and it's a gaslight. You gaslight yourselves even. Well, it's not going to be a very smart army, is it? An army of fucking morons. Well, we got enough of them. It's like, I think you see here, there's way more people. Like, these evil, stupid people are able to get power somehow. They know. They game the system and they're whatever, and they get into power. But the truth is, they're vastly outnumbered. See, but this is fucking stupid, Projan. See, he says, see, you're one of these guys who wants to take men's masculinity. God, this is why vasectomies are a slippery slope. No! Let me tell you something right now. Okay? I am what you would, I'm sure would call me a leftist, right? I support people's individual freedom to be whatever they want to be, right? I believe that if you're gay, be gay. If you're a trans, be a trans. If you be whatever you want. This ain't got nothing to do with me. So you're not hurting anybody else. You should be able to be and do whatever you want. And you could sit there and say, oh, that means you want to take away people's masculinity or whatever, but I'm telling you something right now. I'll kick the shit out of you. That'll really take away your masculinity. It's like, if you'd like, I'm not a tranny, but I'll put a dress on and then do it. Now you just got beat up by a guy in a dress. How's that feel? It's like, and that's true, 100%. So you guys, people like you, have this fucking bullshit perception that all of us, people who are humanists and supporters of real freedom, are weak or pussies somehow. And that's not true at all. A pussy is the guy that hides behind a fake fucking profile picture and has a fucked up name and trolls on shows like this because he's too fucking, like I said, a masculine dude would say, this is my name and this is who I am. Okay, I don't fight a lot. I'm not a violent person. I'm just using it as an example. But I was a security guard in Vegas, and I have been trained to do things. And I have never really had my ass beaten up, ever. You'd rather see my cousin John fight, I promise you that right now. Because he don't fuck around at all. I'm from Kentucky. And if you're a little bit different. What? What do you mean, okay? What? You don't know shit about me, bro. Like I said, I worked for years as a security guard in Las Vegas. You don't think I was involved in any kind of scuffling? I don't fight. I'm not a violent person. Violence is for the weak-minded, really. But I'll stand up for myself, definitely, and I won't back down from anybody. So, and like I said again, never really been beaten up. It's like, has John ever researched how Asian fighting fish? No, but John has beaten down a bunch of people. And I've witnessed it. One time we were playing a show. Let's see, you're fucking... Where did you get these views? Remember, vasectomy sport, you probably have low testosterone. No, I don't. At all. What are you talking? See, you're just a troll. I'll give you this. You're better than most of the trolls that come here. Most of the time, it's like the people that said, there was like, what's your sweater? Oh, you got a big nose, or oh, you're this, and then they just disappear. At least you've managed to keep it up and be clever about it. So I give you that much credit. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Remember what I was talking about earlier? That's it, about Sam Darnold and Lindsey Vonn. And Lindsey Vonn, in a couple hours, is about to go down that fucking giant slope with a torn ACL. She said, she's in her 40s. This is her last chance to go to do the Olympics. And she's like, you know what? I'm not just going to quit. I'm going to do this. You can't let adversity break you. That's weak and unmasculine, my friend. Like I said, tough people keep getting up, even when you fail. When you fail, don't quit. Keep going. Yeah. I'll give you this much. I agree with you. He says, anonymous shit posters on the internet is the only place I need to get my information. These guys who watch Fox News and CNN are all mind broken. But see, on that I will agree. If you turn on the news to find out what you think about something, then I agree. You are mind broken. Well, you're a sheep. Plenty of sheep left, plenty of sheep right. But I don't do that. I absorb what's happening and I make up my own mind about it. And I have my own ideas about how things should be. And I don't need somebody to tell me what they think things should be. Pro just said, does John support vasectomies? And John said, of course I do. I wish your dad had gotten one before. That's fucking awesome. All right, now I'm going to get out of here because I've been here for an hour and I got shit to do. So, again, if you're new to this show, which a lot of you are, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I said, the show is still small, but mighty, and it's much, much, much bigger than when I started. And I've only been doing this show coming up on a year now. So, and I said it's grown exponentially. So, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I don't know what that is in England. What is that for in England, LK? What time is it right now? It's 6 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States when I come on the air. What time is that in England? I'm going to Laura's house. Seriously, okay, what time is it right now in England? John says Southeast Indians afraid of you. Yes, they are. I think a lot of people are at this point. Well, anything can be used as anything can be turned evil, Trojan. Anyway, I can't keep going on and on because I said I gotta go to Laura's house. Listen, I said Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. He says 11 p.m. All right, so I come on at 11 in England, and you know what? My viewership in England is almost up to 10%. So thank you, I appreciate it. It's growing in Canada the same way. I have like 8% UK now and like 7.5 Canada. So people are starting to watch in other countries, and I appreciate that. And again, I thank you, okay, and I thank you, Projan, for hanging out. Like I said, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. It's 11 p.m. in the UK. I don't know what time it is in Russia or wherever the other other guy was watching. And like I said, always say, please, if you haven't done it, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Leave comment if you want. Tell me I'm great. Tell me I suck. You know, I don't care. If you want to send me a message privately, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at outlook.com. I don't have any money on the Super Bowl, and like I said, I don't care one way or the other really about these teams. But like I said, the story of Sam Darnold is inspiring. It does show you to not give up. I did not fall for the Rays bait, bro. This is a real show. Next time you come back, please participate in actual discussion, because I am interested in your actual point of view. The world is too divided now. We need to figure out what we have in common. That's the problem is. That's why all these assholes are able to take control. They got us talking about shit. They got nothing to do with our real problems. We have a lot of real problems as a human race. Right? We're destroying the planet. AI is coming out. All this stuff is happening. You know, the nuclear proliferation treaty just went away. You know, the doomsday clock is closest to midnight than it's ever been. As a people, as a human race, we need to get past all these petty differences and start talking about the real issues that face us. Or you're not going to have a world to have your children that you don't pay child support for. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Like I said again, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. Like the channel, subscribe, please. I am Bruce Leonard. Thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, I'll be back Tuesday. Right? Okay, I agree with you. Thank you. Please tell your friends about the show if you like it. Bring people here to participate. I want to have like I said, multitude of views, and I do respond to your talking and to me as you can see. Thank you so much. Good night.